Welcome back. My name is Ben.
My name is Ted.
So people invest a lot of time and energy into their health. We try to exercise. We try to eat foods that we're pretty sure are beneficial to us. We try to get enough sleep. Does that sound like you?
It is, yeah. I try to live an active lifestyle. I exercise quite a bit. But for me, the problem is what I eat. I eat a lot of meat. I eat a lot of cheese. For example, I love these things right here, as bad as it might be for you, but I love pizza. So nowadays I'm trying to incorporate more fruits and vegetables into my diet. So for example, if I'm having a burger, I'll do something kind of like that.
So this is how you incorporate fruits and vegetables into your diet?
Yes.
Well, there's your first problem.
Yeah.
All right, so why specifically fruits and vegetables?
Well, you know, I heard, obviously, throughout my whole life that fruits and vegetables are very good for you. They're all natural, so it's got to be good for your body, right? But I don't know. Maybe I've been a little bit brainwashed.
Well, obviously, fruits and vegetables are good for many, many reasons. They have minerals, they have vitamins, they have enzymes, they have other nutrients. Now, the really important thing that they contain, and the thing that we want to talk about, is phytochemicals.
Okay, phytochemicals. So what is that?
Well, let me break it down for you. So, in the growth stages, plants are vulnerable to countless risks. You have UV rays, you have pests and insects, you have things like viruses and germs, so they need defense mechanisms. Now, one of the defense mechanisms that they have is a certain antioxidant known as phytochemicals.
Okay, so it sounds like we too could use some of this armor to protect us from the harmful germs, the bacteria, the viruses that we experience every day. Is that true for this?
Exactly. So, in the same way that these phytochemicals are beneficial to plants, we're interested in them as well because they're also beneficial to us.
Okay.
Now, different plants have different phytochemicals depending on the color. Red is lycopene. The oranges and the yellows are beta-carotene. The greens here, the leafy greens, are lutein, great for the eyes. And the blues and the purples are anthocyanin. Do these sound even like vaguely familiar?
No, they
No.
don't.
Okay.
But what I gathered from that is it sounds like foods that range in colors are good for your health. So we should probably eat a variety of different foods that range in colors.
Exactly. So you want a variety because of this range of colors. And also it's important that you eat the skin as well because that's where most of those phytochemicals are contained.
Okay. But if I'm looking at this, how much is exactly enough?
Well, the WHO recommends 400 grams a day at least. And I'll tell you, that is a low estimate. A lot of people actually recommend eating way more than that.
So 400 grams.
Yeah.
What does that look like? Could you show me what 400 grams would look like in actual terms?
Sure. I will direct your attention to the scale here.
Okay.
It is about, let's see, yeah, it's about that much. That's slightly over.
This much. So, okay, hold on. So I have to consume at least this much every day.
Per day.
Per day.
Per day.
That's 400 grams more than I already consume. And I gotta be honest, fruits are fine. Fruits are okay. But vegetables, on the other hand, I mean, I'll give it a try.
When was the last time you ate a vegetable?
Like this, been a while. You know what I mean? This is, okay. Vegetables, no. Too hard to eat, too hard to cook.
Okay.
Every time I buy them for health, but then after that I leave them in my refrigerator and they end up going bad every time.
Well, I'll tell you, that is just one of the reasons why I consume all of my vegetables in juice form. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Convenient to make, really convenient to, to consume. Man, that's good. You want some?
No, I don't know about that. I've already had my vegetable intake, thank you.
I promise it's slightly better.
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right, well, I'll also tell you this. This is a really convenient way to get your daily serving amount of vegetables in one drink. And on top of that, the body absorbs it very, very easily.
Okay. Well, it sounds like it's maybe more healthy to buy or make your juice than buy it at a supermarket, maybe.
Well, I'll tell you this. There are a ton of different ways to make juice, and depending on how you make it, you're going to end up with vastly different juices.
Wait. You're telling me there's different ways to make juice even with the same ingredients?
My friend, you have no idea how diverse juice can be. Let me show you.
All right.
Our first juice making tools are the squeezer and the slow juicer. The squeezer, as the name implies, works by pressing and squeezing by hand. The slow juicer, on the other hand, works by squeezing things like, say, oranges with a slowly rotating auger that's inside the device. This is the auger. Now, the two methods are very similar in principle. Want to give it a shot?
Let's do it. I love orange juice, so I'm excited for this.
Here we go. Ready, set, go.
Well, yours looks a bit easier.
That's because it is.
But I'm also getting a workout in.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is that how you're justifying it?
Yep.
Okay. I'm getting no workout.
That looks good too. Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Lots to spare.
let's just compare these two here. First off, as you can see, the colors are identical. There's no difference in the colors. I'm gonna give it a taste. That is amazingly delicious. Squeezer and slow juicer, they're both absolutely delicious and the same taste. No difference in taste or color.
Yep.
But I gotta say, this one was a bit more of a process.
All right. Well, that is why we have the aptly named electric squeezer right here. Works like so.
Okay. Why didn't you give me this in the first place?
Because true students, they start off at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So you simply take your half of the orange like that.
Yeah.
Squeeze it for just a few seconds. Should do it. If you pop that down, check out the front. Juice comes out. Pop it up. Juice stops. That is the electric squeezer.
Far easier than what I was doing there.
Way easier.
I love it. Okay.
The only issue is, how do you get juice out of these things? Kale and other fruits and vegetables.
That is a good question. I don't think I could squeeze any juice out of this.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible what happens.
Right. Okay, I could see how it would be difficult to get juice from, say, kale or carrots using the squeezer.
Yeah, so the squeezer is great for getting juice out of citrus fruits like grapefruits, oranges, and lemons.
Okay.
However, as you can see, it's not so great at getting juice out of anything else.
Okay.
So that's the one drawback of squeezers is ingredient limitation. However, with the slow juicer, you can do oranges, just like the squeezer. You can do carrots. Ooh, that sounds good. You can do kale.
And still easy.
There you go.
Wow. So,
No
okay.
limitation.
So then what are some other methods used to make juice without any of these restrictions?
Well, if you want to make juice without any restrictions on ingredients, vegetables, or fruit, you basically have three tools at your disposal. You have a blender, you have a fast juicer or a high-speed juicer, and you have a slow juicer. Now, first we're going to compare a blender with a slow juicer.
Okay, so I recognize the difference obviously, but how can you explain how they're different?
Sure. Now, the blender uses the high-speed, rapid motion of its blades to spin around and finally dice the ingredients as they're being mixed together. This is, of course, blending, otherwise known as the high-speed pulverization method.
Okay, chops it up.
Yep. Now, on the other hand, the slow juicer has this thing inside. This is an auger, and the auger slowly spins as it presses and squeezes on the ingredients. Now, this is the low-speed, low-temperature juicing method.
Okay, so you have the high speed versus the low speed, blades versus no blades. And that's the biggest difference there.
Exactly, that's right.
That makes sense.
Well, why don't we do a little comparison test so you can see for yourself.
Okay.
All right,
Let's
we'll
do it.
make some apple kale juice. Now, just one moment. Speaking of apple, there is something I want to show you in just a couple of minutes. So I'm going to cut that in half, set it right there.
Okay.
Now, back to the apple kale juice. Right over here, we have 2 plates of ingredients. They are exactly the same, kale and apple. So you take this one and make that juice on the blender. I'm going to take this one. I'm going to make our juice with the slow juicer.
And then we'll compare.
We'll compare. You ready?
Ready.
Set, go.
Let's do it. sound. Oh, hold on. Stop.
Stop.
Mine is not blending, so I don't. What do you think? Add some water? Let's do that. Let's add some water.
Sure.
That's not good.
No hurry, you know.
All right, let's give it another shot.
Can we go?
Let's do it.
All right. Yep.
Better. We're getting there. But it's so loud, right?
Yeah.
Sounds like we're near an airport.
A what?
An airport. Hold on, though. Still having some difficulties here. Push that down.
Oh yeah. You done?
I'm done.
I'm there we go. I'm done as well.
Let's give a little comparison.
Sure. Want to pour it out?
Let's do it.
Watch this. Oh man, that looks good.
Ready?
Go for it.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
What do you see?
first thing I noticed right away is the color.
Mm-hmm.
This one is definitely darker, whereas this one is lighter from the blender. And I can tell the texture of this is absolutely juice. Whereas this is more kind of like a smoothie texture. So it's the same ingredients, I saw that, same amount of ingredients.
Yep.
But where does the difference come from?
So of course the major difference is that with a slow juicer, the coarse fiber is removed. That is a fiber.
look
Go
at
ahead.
that.
Look at that. How exciting is that?
It's like a chip.
It's like a chip. Kind of feels like clay, right?
Yeah.
Now, because the fiber is removed, what you get is actual juice. Okay, that's what accounts for this really thin texture. Now, on the other hand, right here we have what's more of a smoothie
Right.
than juice, right?
Right.
It's aerated, it's kind of thick, and that's because that fiber isn't removed.
Okay.
But I'll tell you, the biggest difference comes in the taste. So why don't you go ahead and give it a little taste test?
Okay. All right, let's give it a try. Let's start with this one. I usually don't eat a lot of green vegetables. I think,
I heard.
yeah, because it's, it's that grassy smell, right?
Mhm.
So, but let's go ahead and try it. Not that bad. However, it doesn't go down very smooth. So that's one thing. Now, let's go ahead and try the juice from the slow juicer. Same smell. Oh, that is smooth though. That goes down really easy. It's actually very delicious too.
Yep. Told you.
This, I swear this exceeds my vegetable intake, but this one is good. I really enjoy that. But from a health perspective, which one is different and how are they different?
Well, it depends on your reason for drinking it. Now, the blender-made juice retains all of the fiber, which can help you feel full and also promotes movement or basically prevents constipation. On the other hand, this is really interesting, the amount of insoluble dietary fiber can actually obstruct your body's absorption of nutrients.
Okay.
So what that means is, yes, there's a bunch of good stuff in here, but your body can't make use of it.
I see.
All right, on the other hand, we have the slow juicer made juice right here. Now, because it doesn't have that fiber, all that fiber has been extracted right here. It's going to be easier to drink. It's going to go down easier.
It was smooth.
Exactly, and also your body is going to be able to make use of that good stuff that's in there.
Oh, it's really good. Actually, can I drink?
Yeah, have at it.
It was so good and so smooth, so actually it's very easy to drink and goes down with no problem.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really good.
Enjoy.
Now, is it just me, or is there a difference in the temperature? Because this feels almost more cooler than the blender-made one.
So your question was, is the smoothie always warmer? Well, why don't we do this? Let's make 2 more glasses of juice, and we'll take a temperature measurement and find out. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
Good. We're going to do orange juice,
I love it.
because when you make orange juice, you don't actually have to add water. So we are going to get a pure juice to pure juice comparison. All right?
Let's do it.
So first we got to clean up a bit.
Right.
There There we go. All ready?
Ready to go.
So we have 2 plates of oranges. They are just about the same.
Perfect.
You go ahead and take that one.
Thank you.
And when you're ready, go ahead.
I'm already going.
There we go.
Open it up. Smells good. Now, here's the one thing, just even touching the device itself, I can feel that it's like warmer to the touch.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that's from maybe the high-speed motor.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's pour it out, take the temperature. Now only do about a third, just because, yeah, and I'll show you why in a moment. Let's do it. Probably till there.
Like that, right?
Yeah. Okay. And the reason is, we've got our thermometers here, and we don't want to cover them too much. So, if we wait just a moment, we're going to get our reading. So what does yours say? Oh, here we go. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. Okay, so that is about a 7-degree difference.
So, obviously a lot of difference
Yeah.
in the temperature there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, can you explain a little bit more about that? Because one thing I noticed is the temperature right away from the touch.
Yeah.
And what's the other reason?
So, like you mentioned, because of the heat generated by this high-speed motor, the smoothie, and we'll just go ahead and call it a smoothie because it's less juice than smoothie. Because of that heat generated, the smoothie is always going to be warmer. Now, when you're making juice, you have to keep in mind that nutrients like vitamin C, things like enzymes, are heat sensitive. They're vulnerable to heat. So when you're making juice, it's really important to pay attention to the absence or the presence if you really want to have the most beneficial, healthiest juice you can.
I see. So sounds like a slow juicer, something that keeps the juice at a cool temperature, seems to be more healthy than something that might heat it up a little bit more.
Exactly.
Okay, and I also noticed that we didn't use any water when we were making this juice, but the color is different. I noticed that the juice from the slow juicer is darker compared to what I'm using, the blender, it's far lighter. So why is that?
It is because of oxidation. Now, when you cut an apple in half, like so, and you expose it to the air, in just a little while, it turns brown. Now, this is the apple we cut open not too long ago. Fresh apple, you can clearly see the color difference. Now, in the blender, because you have these rapidly spinning blades, it's sucking a lot of air into the chamber. Everything's getting churned up with that air. Now, on top of that, those blades are destroying those cell membranes.
Okay.
So, you have the destruction of those cell membranes. It's coming into contact with that air, and it's resulting in 2 things. It's resulting in the destruction of nutrients, and it's resulting in that changing color that you see.
Okay.
Now, as a fun little science experiment, we can actually check and see how much oxygen is in these juices.
Sounds good.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Want to help clean up this a bit?
Let's do it.
Sure.
I'll take these down.
Sure, I'll get this. Measure the oxygen. Simply stick that in there. And now we wait.
Perfect.
So we did the slow juicer. Let's try the blender.
Okay. Let's do a little cleanup.
Stick in the probe and we wait. And lo and behold, as we anticipated, the blender-made juice has far more oxygen than the slow juicer-made juice. So I do have to tell you that there is one more machine that I want to try.
Okay.
And that is the vacuum blender, now the way this vacuum blender works, I'll just tell you really quick, is it, as the name suggests, it creates a vacuum so that that oxygen can't get in there. So what we're going to do, we're going to make juice with that, and then we're going to see how much oxygen.
Let's do it.
We're going to go ahead and measure yield oxygen. It has stopped. Now, so as you see, this is obviously way lower than the blender made juice, but it's actually quite a bit higher than I thought than the slow juicer made juice, which is interesting.
It is interesting.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man, knowledge is power, because I had no idea that the amount of oxygen inside of a glass of juice was that important.
It's important, it does matter. The oxidation of a cell indicates that it is rotting or aging or just changing in some way.
Yeah.
Now what prevents that from happening are those antioxidizing phytochemicals that are found in fruits and vegetables.
Okay, yeah, and you had mentioned that phytochemicals are what give fruits and vegetables the unique colors.
Yep.
But if the colors change, does that mean that the antioxidant levels are decreasing?
So that's actually a really good question, and to find out, we're going to do another little science experiment.
Perfect.
So let's clear this table a little bit.
All right.
Now what I would like you to do, if you wouldn't mind, is put a little bit of that juice into this cup.
Okay.
You don't need that much. I'm going to do the same right here.
Just a little bit.
Yep. Perfect, that's fine. Now, here we have the DPPH free radical scavenging test. Now what we're going to do is we are going to put some of this juice into this purple liquid, and the purple liquid is going to change color.
Okay.
Now the more transparent this purple liquid becomes, the higher the level of antioxidants.
Okay.
All right?
Sounds easy enough.
Yep, so like so. Squirt it in. Gonna go ahead and give these two a mix.
It's just like a cocktail.
Pretty much. A cocktail you do not want to drink.
Right.
Yeah. There we go.
Well, right away I can see the color change. I mean, look at that. That's far different than this one. This is far more transparent. So that must mean that the slow juicer has more antioxidants than the high-speed blender does.
That's what it looks like.
Well, I gotta be honest. I had no idea that there's so many different kinds of juice and ways to make juice. I mean, you have high speed, low speed, squeezing, blending, but is there a different way to make juice without saying smoothie form?
Now, this is the real showdown. Juicer versus juicer.
Oh, man.
Juice versus juice.
I'm ready.
All right. So here we have the high-speed juicer. Now the high-speed juicer employs the high-speed centrifugal separation method. So see this thing right here?
Yep.
It's got all these blades inside. It's going to chop up the ingredients, basically fling the juice out as it spins super fast.
Okay.
Right here we have the slow juicer, which employs the low-speed, low-temperature juicing method. Now inside we have this. This is called the auger, and the auger spins slowly, and it's going to squeeze and press the juice out of the ingredients.
Right. Well, in any case, it's juice versus juice, similar but different. That is interesting. I'm excited to see, but I want to know, what's the difference?
So what is the difference? That is, of course, a really good question, and we are going to find out by making tomato juice this time.
All right.
Now, quick pop quiz. Tomatoes are red, which indicates which phytochemical?
Ooh. Is it lycopene?
It is lycopene.
All right.
Very good. So, for this juice-making venture, it is very important that we have the same quantities of tomatoes, and they should be about the same.
Okay.
You go ahead and take one of these.
Okay.
And make yours on that juicer. I'm going to make mine on the slow juicer.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. have you used a high-speed juicer before?
It's my first time.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
No reason.
Okay.
Enjoy.
What I do, I'll let you do this. And pop it. Whoa! Hold on. That,
Are we stopping?
that was really loud.
Yeah.
And so sudden, I wasn't, okay, I'm sorry. Wasn't
You
expecting
okay?
that. Yeah, let's,
You okay?
let's
All right,
keep going.
collect yourself, and then do what you need to do.
It's kind of exciting, though. That is really loud.
This thing is
The
still,
whole thing.
Listen how quiet this is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
I'm gonna wake up the children with this.
Exactly. Let's pour the juice.
Okay.
All right. Look at that. Here we go. One moment. Let's do it. So,
All right. Well, the first thing that I noticed is just the difference in colors. I mean, that is drastic. If you look at this, this is far darker. And actually, I'm just holding a tomato right now. Look at that.
yeah, pretty much the same color.
Pretty much the same. Whereas this one, color's obviously much lighter.
Yes.
So I saw that you started a timer.
I did start a timer. Now, I'm going to show you something in a moment. So let's just put this timer here for now.
Right.
Now, you did mention the color difference. Part of that is due to the oxidation that goes on in the high-speed juicer. Now, think about it. The high-speed juicer works by the centrifugal force, so each little droplet of juice is being flung through the air. So as it's flying through the air, it's exposed, right? So we have a lot more oxidation going on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the color is drastic. You can
Yep.
just tell it right away.
Yep.
This one, like you said, it's very extreme.
It's
was so
it's an
sudden.
extreme, like an extreme, yeah.
It was just
Extreme is a
took
good
me
word
by
for it.
surprise, but
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I was surprised and kind of happy to see that the juice from this one is so similar to what an actual tomato's color is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost like there's no change, no difference in that. So that's really nice.
So,
And look at that. Like I'm. Okay, what is this?
okay. So that is simply called separation. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop the timer. We're at 1 minute, 15 seconds.
Yeah.
And you can already see how much separation has gone on. Now, separation is a natural process. A lot of people think it is really unappealing looking,
Okay.
but it's completely natural. So nothing to worry about. Now,
Yeah, but here's the deal. The juice from the slow juicer, it hasn't been affected.
that's right.
Okay.
All right. So the important part, though, is how it tastes. So why don't you go ahead, knock that back.
All right, let's give it a try. Gotta say that separation is not the most flattering thing. Okay, you know what? I was a little taken back by the separation, but it's not bad. It's okay. But I guess the real test comes from trying this one, right?
Slow juicer. Yep.
Okay,
Slow
let's
juicer juice.
Smells the same, looks the same. Okay, that is really good. I'm not even gonna lie about that. That's so smooth. And that is still kind of like frothy, but this one is so easy to drink. It's really, really good.
This is more of a juice than this, right? Like this almost has smoothie qualities.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah. That is really good, really smooth. There was no separation, which is kind of nice, I guess, but
Enjoy. It's all yours.
I'm just gonna
It's all
enjoy
yours.
this. I'm sorry.
It's not my first juice.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna enjoy it.
Have at it.
And healthy. That's the best part.
Yes, it is. And next up, we have grapes, which are rich in the phytochemical.
Love.
You know? No, love, not love. I'm sure grapes are rich in love. Anthocyanin.
I was close.
Now, polyphenols, like anthocyanin, the more you have of them, the more you're going to have this antioxidating effect on your bodies. So why don't we go ahead and make some healthy purple juice?
Ooh, my favorite.
First, let's clean this up a bit. So, just like we did with the tomatoes, we're going to start off with equal quantities of grapes. They should be about the same. So you're going to go ahead,
Thank
of
you.
course, make it with the high-speed juicer. I'm going to make my grape juice with the slow juicer.
Right.
So whenever you're ready,
I'm a bit excited and a bit nervous to do this one again.
for your second go around. I would be too if I were you.
Some grapes. And blast off.
Yeah. Whoa! Alright. Oh!
Alright. And
I'll let you go first.
there you have it. I think my juice.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm gonna clean this
Is
up.
it safe?
I made a mess.
Alright.
My juice. You're done.
Yep. So, shall we?
Let's do it.
Oh,
My
you
juice
poured
is
yours.
here.
Yeah, here. Let me do mine. Look at that. Look at that.
Whoa!
Yep, hold on.
Wait a minute.
And got a little more. I'm just gonna let that drip out.
Look at the color difference.
Yeah.
I mean, look how dark that is. I mean, it's the same as the tomatoes, much, much darker.
It's much more obvious.
But look at this. I mean, that's completely dark. Like color of a grape, actually.
We got the separation happening
Yep.
much faster as well. Now, I also want to point out, check out the difference in pulp. So this is all I have left. This amount from that same amount of grapes.
Yeah.
And
And actually, it's,
you
it
can go ahead
seems
and
to
touch
be,
it.
you know, well, it seems to be much drier, like less moisture in it, because I'm looking at mine right here.
You want to open that for me?
And
Watch what happens.
I mean, look at
It's literally dripping. So all of your juice is dripping out.
You
So
wanna
this
touch
is how, I don't want to actually touch it. Now, but you have so much juice left in there. So this is what happens when you have these different machines. This one is going to squeeze it all out. This one is whipping it out. So this is much
Yeah.
more effective.
Yeah, this seems like it was much more squeezed.
Exactly.
But I kind of want to try it. So can you hand me one of those stirring sticks?
Oh, sure. There you go.
I'm gonna give it a try.
All right.
Boom. Bada boom.
Cheers.
I mean, that is good. That is
I'm sure.
good.
Well, it's still grapes.
But this is what I'm excited for, just from past tests right here. That is amazing. I'm not even kidding. That is like so sweet and so like strong. And it's just very easy to drink compared to the frothiness of that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Wow. So that's incredible. So I guess the juices really range in taste, color, and quantity as well, right?
Exactly.
Well, but what about the nutritional value?
So the nutritional value, that's a good question, and that is what we're going to look at in our next test, is the amount of polyphenols in each juice.
Okay.
It's going to be really similar to the last test that we did.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to take this liquid, like so. We're going to squirt a bit of each juice into each liquid, and what you're going to see is a color change. Now, as opposed to the last time where the liquid turned clear to indicate what we were looking for, this is going to turn dark. So the darker the liquid, the more polyphenols there are, okay?
Okay.
Like so. I'm going to do 2 squirts. Like so.
Perfect. So now just to reiterate what you said,
Yeah.
the darker liquid is going to contain more polyphenols.
Yes, the one that turns darker has more polyphenols.
Okay.
Going to turn that, stir that a bit more. There you go. Pretty quick.
It is quick. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can already notice that this
Yeah.
one is turning darker much faster.
Exactly. Let's give it another moment. See if it turns darker. All right, so you can see a clear difference from the juice made with the slow juicer. Now, why? What accounts for that difference? Here's what it is. The slow juicer is going to press and squeeze everything in those grapes, from the skin to the seeds. Obviously, the skin has a lot of those anthocyanins. The seeds also contain those polyphenols as well. So that's why. Now, the fast juicer is just spinning stuff, so it doesn't really get as much of the goodness into the juice.
I see.
And that's what you're seeing right here.
Okay. Wow.
So today we went ahead and we looked at 4 different juicing methods. We looked at squeezers, 2 different types of squeezers. We looked at high-speed blenders, we looked at high-speed juicers, and we looked at a slow juicer.
That's right.
So what did you think?
I loved it. And to be honest, I'm blown away at the different types of juicing methods. And depending upon that method, how you get different tastes, how you get different color, nutritional value, even temperature. I mean, that's crazy to hear, crazy to find out. But for me, obviously, the most important part is taste.
Of course. Now, we drink juice to improve our health, so
Yeah.
of course, the more we know about what we're drinking, the better.
That's true. And after this, I know I'm going to take this one because
That one?
it's my favorite. So, cheers.
Well, enjoy. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Salud. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. One more time, I am Ben.
I'm Ted.